Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2022 Corolla Cross. This is brand new from Toyota. These are fitting somewhere in between the regular Corolla car and the RAV4 SUV. So this is an SUV style vehicle, so it is a crossover, but it is not as large as some of the others and has more of a wagon design than a traditional SUV square box design. So a lot of the stuff that's on this will recognize from the Corolla itself. Other stuff you'll recognize from other crossovers in Toyota's lineup. You're looking at a roughly $30,000 vehicle, depending on how you option it. This right here is about $33,000 with delivery. You can get it for much cheaper than that. You can get it for more expensive than that, but not by much. This is pretty close to the top end for this. Underneath the hood is a, it's a little 4-cylinder engine with a lot of starving horses. It's the same engine that's in the Corolla, and it is not a goer. And then you have a CVT, so continuously variable transmission, that is not helping at all. So very anemic to drive. This car is not in a hurry to get anywhere. But at the same time, the market buying this, people that are looking at this vehicle, probably doesn't matter to them. They're not looking for a sporty car. If you're looking for a sporty car, you would be with a different brand. So let's talk about it. Let's look at everything that's going on, the design, what's inside of it, all of that. So design-wise, looking at the car, you can see a fair amount of RAV4 and Corolla kind of mixed together. So you're seeing a pretty basic wagon-style profile. You're seeing a crossover profile or crossover elements in the ride height and the amount of wheel gap going on in those wheel wells. And then the design itself has several elements that carry around it. So as I walk in, you can kind of get an idea of perspective here. So the most obvious lines are these big ones here. You kind of have an arrowhead pointing back, and then right here you have a mirrored one pointing the other direction. Those accentuate fenders and create the fender more or less because you have multiple light shelves. There's a lot of movement on this body. The hood kind of dips in, comes up like this, comes down, and does a lot of movement right here. There's a lot of changes in the bodywork, and that creates a lot of light movement on the car. It's actually really good looking. I didn't expect it to look this good. When I saw it in the showroom well, not a showroom, it was at a car show. They had it in a white color, and that is a terrible color for this. It does not show off any of these lines. It mutes them all. So I would stay away from those colors. Probably black will do the same thing. I would go with colors like this beautiful kind of a blue gray and similar colors to go with it. The wind is now picking up thanks to, I turned on the camera, so must be the sign to turn up the wind. Anyway, just the rest of the body lines are fairly obvious. You can see they didn't go round with these. They kind of went with not quite a trapezoid, but they kind of moved that one out. So you have a difference in so the wheel isn't totally round. You can see the greenhouse pinches, and the roof line, even though it's flat, it looks like it's sloping. All of that we've discussed many, many times. That always makes the car move forward. Little design details, side lights here for your markers, the Corolla Cross emblem right in here. Little things like that. There's some small bits on each of these wheel covers. This is the most prominent here to create air spoilage so that you get better airflow around those tires. So nicely done. They're proud of the Corolla Cross name. They've got it written into it several different places. Let's look at the working end really quick, and then we'll get inside. I'm going to try to beat the wind here. So at the back of the car, again, Corolla Cross, XLE all-wheel drive. So there's that tells you what the package is if you want to go look it up. Underneath here, you can see the rake of the back of it looks more crossover, but it is very station wagon from the side. That's kind of the theme happening here. In the back, you have a pretty good storage area. There's a milk jug spot over here. There's a good spot for smaller, you know, like the quart sized and whatever along here. There's a carpeted mat, and then the hard mat, and then your spare tire under there. There's tie downs all four corners, so one right here, and one each over there. This has a cargo cover you can get. It's not included in this one in particular. And a good sized load area. Downers there's no way to drop those seats really quickly from here. You have to go around and do it. But they do fold fairly flat, so you get a pretty good amount of load area if you're looking to really fill this with some cargo. That's the versatility of a wagon design. Let's go get inside. So really quickly, I want to show you this door does not open to 90 degrees. That's as far as it gets. That makes entry a little bit difficult in the back. So the back seats are what you would expect for a vehicle this size. They're a little bit cramped, not totally on the knees. I still would have a little space if this seat moved forward. I'm 6'3", so I'm taking up a lot more room than most people would. There's room under the seat to put my feet under it though. I love that. The seats themselves aren't bad. They're not great, but they're not terrible either. I could sit in this for quite a while and be fine. I have a lot of headroom. I got a couple of inches going on above my head. My biggest complaint is the drink holders are pretty shallow, so if you have taller drinks, they're gonna come out, or at least threaten to. The doors open at a pretty acute angle. They don't open all the way. That makes getting in and out a little more work than it should be, especially if you got longer legs. As would be expected, a vehicle this size, 3 across in the back is going to be cramped. There's no choice, but that's not a knock. That's the size of the vehicle. Every vehicle this big is like that. So really comfortable back here though. I'm kind of surprised. Not a lot of amenities. There's no USB plugs. There's no, there's only the 2 drink holders here unless you fold down the middle, and that adds 2 more. Ventilation, 1 set of vents, that's it. There's nothing else going on back here. You have no control over anything and nowhere to plug your stuff in, and not a whole lot of storage. There's no seat back storage at all. There is one over here, but nothing right here, and no, you know, like I said, these drink holders are a little bit too shallow. Let's go up front though. It's a lot better there. So the front doors open a whole lot wider, and you have a lot more entry. So good job there. The front seats are surprisingly comfortable for a vehicle like this. At this price point, I don't generally expect much, and I'm getting more in the seating than I would expect. So that's a good thing. Over here you have some dimmers and the rear hatch opening. I did an interior walkthrough on this. I'll try to link that. So, but overall, controls are easy to understand. Everything is where you expect it. There's still hard buttons on the infotainment, which I love. Makes it so much easier to use. Just a nice setup for the price point. Lots of hard plastic all over the place, and then soft plastics to rubberized anyway to attempt to help mitigate that, but road noise is loud. There's no getting around it. Like I said, the drive quality, it's very anemic. This is never in a hurry for anything, and when you do try to get it to hurry, it will resist you the whole way. Getting up to 65 or more to make a freeway on-ramp, probably not going to happen in this car, not unless you got a whole lot of ramp. But drive quality is predictable, average maybe. It's not great. But, you know, it's not a sports car. This is kind of a small family vehicle. So I think the people that would be buying this, if you're in the market for something like this, this will provide everything you're asking for at the price point you're paying. So there's no there's no worry. You know, I'm not going to say this is terrible. I'm just going to say that it fits a specific market, and I'm not that market. That's the honest truth. But wonderful visibility. I like the mirrors. They're a good size. This rear view mirror is really large for the size of the vehicle. Gives you a lot of view out the back. Just most everything is where you expect it to be, and it works the way you expect it to work. That's really what this car is all about. So let's wrap this up so I can shut this down and not worry about the wind anymore, and the fact that the temperature just dropped about 10 degrees, and that's not a good sign. All right, so there you go. That is the 2022 Corolla Cross. It is not in a hurry, it is not a goer, but it is a very functional and useful, versatile vehicle, and fits the market it's aiming for really, really well. So I think Toyota's probably got a winner on their hands. I think this is going to do pretty well, and I think it deserves to do that. So if you're in the market for a vehicle that's not as big as a lot of the SUVs, and you kind of like the wagon style more than you like the big crossover style, this is definitely something that should be on your radar. So I'll show you Monroney really quick. I forgot to bring it with me to look it over with you, but I'll show it to you really quick. It's not very good. It's a kind of a bad scan, but I'll show it to you really quick so you can have a look at it. And just know that for this particular model, which is pretty close to the top end, you're paying about $33,000 with delivery. So wonderful price point. And that's what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.